So Ray Scott, man, what did he mean? That guy, I don't know what I would have done in my life. Fishing would have been a great hobby. It turned into an occupation or profession or a life's work, a happy life's work. I would say Ray Scott had one of his very early day bass tournaments in 1970. It was in November. And this is the 50th anniversary of our company, Bass Pro Shops, because I went to that tournament. My dad and I had an old Richland aluminum boat. They had a 25 horsepower Johnson Seahorse. And I showed up at that tournament. I think the entry fee was $200. And I went there and I met other fishermen right off the bat, and it was fascinating. We didn't take my old boat, our boat. But man, I fished with Blake Honeycutt, electrical contractor from North Carolina, that first tournament. I thought his engine broke down because we just beat the bank, cast it ashore. He stopped. I said, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" He said, "Johnny, we're fishing right here." And he had these Hopkins spoons, so like we were fishing 80 feet deep, which I'd never done. And I met a contractor, or not a weatherman, Bob Pons from Mississippi was in that tournament. And Stan Sloan that had Zorro aggravator lures. But then there were all these fishermen there, and many of them were innovators. Carl Lawrence was there, the inventor of the Lawrence fish finder, the little green box. Forrest Wood, that pioneer, the modern day is Ranger bass boat. Bill Norman with Norman Lures. All these guys, Virgil Ward, legendary fisherman in the Ozarks. So I was meeting all these fishermen from all around the country, and they had all these lures, and I just thought, man, this is great. And it's ironic, but where we're sitting today in Bass Pro Shops, our headquarters store, it used to be Gibson's Discount, like an early day Walmart. I was a real good customer in their fishing and their sporting goods department. So I make a list of all these lures I heard about, like Hopkins spoon I mentioned. Tom Mann was down there, so I had, jelly worms, Mann's Little George. And I kept going back to the manager, who's a buddy. He said, "Johnny, I'm sorry, but I just can't get permission from the home office to carry these items." So then I approached my dad, and he had a liquor store on the way to Table Rock. I said, "Dad, we need to put this bass gear in there." And he was pretty reluctant about it at first. He said he tried to sell lures, and he didn't, tackle because he loved to fish, but he said it didn't work out too good. But my dad is my best buddy in life, and he supported me to try it. He co-signed a note, and me and a buddy, Steve Reed, got a U-Haul trailer and went to Tulsa. And another fisherman that I'd met, Don Butler, had a shop called Okie Bug, and he wholesaled. So we got this U-Haul trailer. We had $10,000. We spent every nickel of it for inventory and put it in that trailer. Bought a padlock at 7-Eleven. We came back and the trailer was still there. So I thought about that oftentimes. Something would have happened to that trailer. That would have been the end of Bass Pro Shops right there. But we called our first store Bass Pro Shop because it was real descriptive of what we wanted to do, what we wanted to specialize in bass gear.